We're joined here by Precious Enyi, who is an award-winning broadcast journalist, of course, who has a wealth of experience in the media industry. She's a strong advocate for remote work and has trained numerous individuals and organizations to thrive in the digital workspace. Now, today, we're discussing the impact of remote work and technology on jobs. It is great to have you, Precious.
Thank you are
welcome.
So much. It's awesome to be here. By the way, you guys have a beautiful studio here.
Thank you, thank you.
I see tech all around me.
Oh, you love
it. It's such a techie studio.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, you have always been an advocate for remote jobs.
I have always
even
been.
Before now. Why
Absolutely.
so? How did you become that person who would advocate for remote jobs?
Okay, so as far back as 2014, I established a company that is into that encourages remote work in terms of customer service, and I became very passionate about customer service, more especially because Nigerians pay more attention to getting customers more than customer retainership. And once they get you, they just forget about you, and they forget that the best form of marketing is one-on-one marketing, and impeccable customer service begets one-on-one marketing. Because if you treat me well where I, patronized you,
I'll tell somebody,
I'll
recommend you.
Someone else, and that's exactly what pushed me to that. And then I realized that sometimes you may not actually get the best hands that you need in your place of work. So why not source out from the interesting, well-equipped pool stream that we have out there to make up for your work? So such a way that we can handle your customer service rather from home as though we were you. You understand? So this is working remotely. And then when I started that up, and I felt like it was awesome. So for so many companies, organizations, we handled their customer service. We even had more turnover, including telemarketing, in terms of telemarketing. We had more turnover in terms of traction than staff who were resuming work every day.
So traditionally, the customer service MO is that you have a room where you see many people and all of that. So what you did, or what you were doing, was that
we outsourced.
So wherever you are,
you
can respond to.
Absolutely. So I even had agents scattered across the country, and we handle your customer service in Pidgin, English, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and you will think that we're answering you from the office.
From the office.
We're answering you from home, because you really never need to see those people.
See the people
exactly.
Who are.
So then why can't we work from anywhere?
No, wonderful. Now, let's move forward. This was 2014, 6 years before 2020, which was the big year, where people started understanding virtual work and remote work, because people had to stay back at home because of COVID. And so a lot of people, out of necessity, had to embrace remote working.
Absolutely.
Now, after 2020, some people returned to the office, and then some people continued that model. But here, as Africa, as a continent, now you mentioned something. You being remote, that means that wherever you are, you have some sort of equipment or technology that can carry. But that's where we have a problem. Connectivity and all that. How can one surmount such challenges with connectivity, maybe internet connectivity?
Absolutely.
That's number one and all of that. How do you surmount such challenge in such a place where penetration, when it comes to internet and all of that, or good internet connectivity, is still a problem?
Okay, so that's actually the downside and one of the many disadvantages, or few disadvantages, of remote working, because for someone like us, you have to pay attention to not just one internet connection, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to have options in case the connection.
Jumps and all of that.
Yes, you know the network providers, they can never really be stable. So and then you can't afford to disappoint your clients, and most especially because most clients that you have, or most clients that understand the need for remote work, are based outside of Nigeria, not within Nigeria. Nigerian companies don't cherish or appreciate remote work. They want to see you enter traffic and come to work every day and see that you have sweat all over your body. That's
so
yesterday,
like what happened yesterday? Were you out in traffic yesterday?
I would never have been, because I was working remotely.
So that yesterday you were saved from all that happened.
I don't. In fact, I went out briefly to get fuel just so I could be here. And just for the few seconds, in less than how many meters I went out to buy fuel, I saw the traffic. I told myself, I can't be back to this life again. So
wonderful. Now,
it's crazy.
But so the problem, a number of industry leaders will tell you, is that when people work remotely, how do you monitor them? How are you sure they are doing what they are supposed to do?
But I just told you earlier that when I did remote work in terms of customer service and telemarketing for a company, an international company that is not based in Nigeria, I ended up making more turnover than even their staff that were based in Nigeria that were coming to office every day. So they are yardsticks. You give them KPIs. There are ways that you can.
That's it. So you monitor those outputs,
you monitor the outputs every day. For instance, for some customer service jobs, you have the number of people you should call every day. And there are ways that I, as the head or the lead, the team lead, checkmates my call agents to be sure that they've called. If I give you a list of 150 people to call in a day, I, on my own, within the week, call randomly 2-3 of them to find out how our agents treated you. To be sure you appreciated the way the agent treated you. So if you did not call, God help you, I would know.
That's a problem.
So there are ways that you can tell.
Okay.
And I think that that's the greatest fear of Nigerian business owners.
That
we
is
should
it.
calm that fear
That is it.
down.
Now, talking about now, that means that you can work jobs in the US, in the UK, and all
Absolutely.
that. Now,
I've had clients in the US, I've had clients in Germany, I've had clients across the world.
now, talking about the US here, Elon Musk, who of course is heading this government, DOGE,
Yes.
arm of the government and all of that, and Donald Trump, after the COVID era now, it's like they are trying to push for people, federal workers, to go back to the offices in such a way that they even had to give some people severance pay if they want to go off or if they want to resign, and then told people, look, reapply and come back, we want you to come back to the offices. Expecting that America, as a first world country as it were, they should be the ones who are in the forefront and should push this. Doesn't it seem like they are regressing? Why is it that Elon Musk, who is basically number one tech guy in the world, the richest man in the world, the number one tech guy, why is he pushing for people to go back to offices when a lot can be done even remotely and virtually?
You did not mention perhaps who bought Twitter and sacked a lot of people when he bought Twitter.
Sold Twitter again to himself.
Sold Twitter again to himself. So, I mean, that's it. So there are downsides of remote work, and which any sane society also should worry about on ways to checkmate that. The fact that there's a lot of isolation in remote work. And if you understand what's happening in the world today, there is a lot of pressure on the mental health of a lot of people. And isolation kind of engineers that a little bit more, feel that a bit more. And that's a very key and critical issue that one should pay attention to. As much as technology has been a catalyst for remote work, we should also look at that communality, as it were, and the downside of isolation. Because there are some people that, because they work from home, they never get to see people. And you can't overemphasize the importance of that interaction you have in an office space and all of those. Yeah, that's also a thing.
How do you deal with it? As a person, I know you do a lot of remote work. How do you deal with it? What do you do?
Okay, so because I have family around me, so I don't stop talking. And especially when you have family around you.
All
so you have people around you all the time.
What do people that don't have family?
That's a problem. That's a downside. So they must always look for a way to go out, be communal, interact, and be sociable. That's the thing, because if you're not careful, you end up being too locked in your own cocoon, and it becomes a problem for you. You may even become a misanthrope in some sort of way, hating people because you feel like I'm okay by my own space. So there should be a balance.
Find a way to also go out.
There must be a balance. You find a way to, the reason God did not create one person in Africa and another person in Asia is because God understands the need for us to be communal, to talk to each other.
Wonderful.
And that's very important.
Wonderful. Thank you. And if you are ever in a case whereby your mental health has, it has taken a hit, what to do?
You put a call across. So you see, that's a problem I have with this part of the world. We don't even pay attention to saying shrinks. When last did you think of, my head is clogged up, I need to say shrink? You, Mike.
Shrink.
Shrink? Did you say, shrink? So that's the thing. So we hardly pay attention to our mental health. In fact, it's just these Gen Zs of Nigeria now that have, they've brought that reawakening of the fact that, we actually have something called the mental health.
Definitely.
So remote work is one of the most, it's one of the most paying jobs in Nigeria. People who work remotely earn in dollars, and they earn in 6 figures. Interesting figures. They cash out their numbers. So I don't see any reason why anybody shouldn't pay attention to it if it pays well.
Wonderful, Precious. Thank you so much. This was quite an expose. We're looking forward to having you more to talk about things like this in this light. Well done. All right. Hope you're able to pick up something there. And of course, one thing you have to understand, the after effects for your mental health. Find a way, like she said, hey, talk to a shrink. All right, now that's it on Tech for this morning. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. The second lap is coming right up.